Hi Sunflowers, I am so excited to do this review. I am going to be reviewing the movie Article 370. Yes, really excited, really excited. I'm sure you can see from the sound of my voice. You can hear it, rather. This movie is amazing. Okay, before we get into it, let me do my regular ritual of disclaimers. Regular sunflowers already know my disclaimers, but I will have to say it to the new sunflowers, won't I? All the music that you hear in the background is taken from the World Wide Web, internet. Thank you very much. They're not mine. I don't own it. The same thing with the pictures that you see on the screen, they are not mine. All taken from the internet. And I do not do a full play-by-play, scene-by-scene review. I give my own opinions or stuff that I like, dialogues I might have liked, scenes I might have liked, any other aspects I might have liked. So that is my way of reviewing. So that is that. And if you haven't noticed the title, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to have it spoiled, please do watch it and then come back. I will be waiting with my video here. Nothing to worry about there. And without further ado, let's get in because I'm really excited to do this review. This is a real story. Article 370 really did happen. The abolishment of it really did happen. The removal, the struggles that they had probably really happened. Of course, I know it's based on real events. They're not the actual people represented there. They've changed the names of the main people that were actually involved. And I don't know if the violence was exactly as shown. There probably was violence because it's known that there is violence occurring in Kashmir. Like many other parts of the world, I'm sure, but Kashmir has a lot of conflict with invasions, with terrorist groups, with other countries also trying to occupy it. So, with that in mind, I'm sure that there was violence in one or the other way. How and what might not be as portrayed in the movie might be different. That is true. But other than that, it's based on real events, and I'm really happy to say that they portrayed and whatever they did to dramatize it was done well. Coming to the actual gripping part of the movie, the gripping part started in the very beginning. It was so good when Zuni, the undercover agent, went as a parlor lady, and she found out that this guy was actually trying to rope in many girls as his girlfriends, wives, whatever, and trying to deceive them because he was actually a terrorist. But the girls thought that terrorists were not terrorists, that they were actually freedom fighters or warriors or stuff like that. And how she uncovers that, finds out where he is, does the encounter, and still is sent back to Delhi because she did something against orders. And then there's Rajeshwari, who is in the Prime Minister office, who wants to employ her as a special kind of agent who will be directly working under her, and that she doesn't have to take anyone's orders and stuff like that. What is very engaging at this point is when Zuni gives this big monologue about the atrocities that happen in Kashmir. I am probably sure that they're all true, but it was still heart-wrenching and heartbreaking to hear all those that she talks about the caste system because of Article 370. She talks about how A Kashmiri who marries a non-Kashmiri loses the right to property. She talks about all the atrocities that happen to Hindus, the Kashmiri Pandits rather. And I'm sure that most of them are true, but it's still really heartbreaking that even though the rest of India got independence in 1947, it feels like Kashmir did not get that status. And to hear that monologue was really, really, really heartbreaking, heart touching, and heartwarming. And when she said that I wouldn't have sent the body, that was like such a powerful dialogue because she did the encounter and she sent back the body, they made that guy a martyr, and uh, there were riots and there were uprisals and everything, and a lot of violence happening because of that encounter. And so it shows that you can never be right in a way, and it shows a part of the world, I guess, that you might do everything in your power to make something right. She was just trying to reduce the violence and in the end made more people suffer, which was not on her uh, agenda, definitely, but it happened. And that's the thing with violence, you don't know what new branch of violence is going to erupt. And she did see that, unfortunately, in a bad way. We see the bomb blast in Pulwama, which is atrocious. I mean, an entire vehicle was burned, and the entry of the Prime Minister's character, we all know that they were trying to make it look like Narendra Modi. They didn't have to tell us anything, but the entry was superb. Um, the way they paid their respects to the lost soldiers, like an entire bus of soldiers were demolished, I have to say, because it was just a bomb blast. I mean, there was nothing except like the metal frame of the bus. That was really, really heartbreaking, and she feels so bad because her colleague never would know that they were actually trying to remove Article 370 and that all his work was actually for a good cause. He never found out about that, and so Zuni feels really bad about that. But she still works hard. They plan a lot for the Article 370 thing, and the planning done by the Prime Minister, his staff, his what do you call Prime Minister's men or whatever, everything is shown really, really gripping way, a really, really intriguing way. And I do have one concern. I'm not sure about this, but the faces that were shown for Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well as Amit Shah uh, looked AI generated. I don't know if that was amazing makeup. Like, did they use prosthetics or something? But it looked like it was AI generated. I did not, for a long time, believe that they were actually actors. I thought they were AI generated things that they just made those characters appear on screen. But I'm not sure. They looked like flawless faces. If it was makeup, kudos to the makeup artist. That was really good. The music was really good. It was done at apt times. There was no unnecessary. There was no dance numbers at all. It's not required in such a movie, I'm sure, but I don't know if other directors and other producers would have been fine with that. I'm glad that these people were fine with that and did not put a single dance number. It was just background music. It was so heart touching and heartwarming because they really pulled at our heartstrings with the music that they created. For that, I'm really grateful. It was really great music. The entire time it was gripping, whatever encounters they did, or whatever background checks they did, the trying to find out about a missing clause in the Article 370 in the previous constitutions and figuring out that it was actually destroyed, and finding out that there were politicians involved, and finding out that politicians were actually taking all the money that was given by the government as fund for peace in Kashmir was actually taken by politicians, the grains, the rations were all taken by politicians, and they were kind of, leveraging it as a sort of way to incite violence, because they were saying, if you don't do this, we are going to, remove you from your home or do unspoken things to you. That was also, it was eye-opening to realize that those things were happening. And when they finally find the missing clause in a document that was in a restricted section of the library, that was all very, 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 gripping, gripping scenes. And we see a lot of violence, the way that when they were tried to take a person who they believed might be a terrorist, tried to arrest him, and there were 200 or so people who came with just like nothing, just like a stick or something each, and they just came and attacked a police vehicle. Like 200 people attacked just 2 police vehicles, and these people are so they're loyal and they don't want to shoot and cause unnecessary bloodshed. Of course, they're police, they have morals and they have ethics and stuff like that. But to do that, to avoid that, they finally tie the guy, the terrorist, who they suspect, the terrorist suspect, they tie him on the vehicle and they have to pass, because they can't do it without that. They eventually do that, and they try, they try methods of how to get the truth out of him, which is, again, really, really gripping. And it's like there's shocks at every turn, and I'm sure that there were even more shocks when they actually did this removal of Article 370. And when they do it the actual day, they have to put all the terrorist suspects in prison. They have to put the great, big name politicians under house arrest. They have to make sure that there's no internet, there's no communication except among the police and among the Secret Service or the Intelligence Bureau, and that's it. And there's violence even at the end, because there's a martyr that has arisen from the first encounter. Every single part of it was gripping, and I'm sure that my review didn't do it justice. I wanted to do the best justice. The acting is great. The acting, the screen, the videography, the cinematography, the colors, the sudden twists. I'm sure that they all really happened. The way all the cars come in, leave the place of the Prime Minister's office because they think that he's gone to meet the governor. But at the end, you see one car leaving is actually Prime Minister Modi. And when they stop near the, President's Bhavan and Rashtrapati Bhavan, and a policeman just stops their car and the window rolls down and it's actually Modi, and he just salutes and he lets him in. That, and the way the news reporter Brinda was so determined that she wanted to give the exclusive scoop on how Article 370 is being removed. And in the end, they tried to distract them by releasing different versions of what's going to happen on that day. And she gets confused because they're like, oh, we're going to hang this guy. No, they're going to do this. No, they're going to do that. And they confuse them totally. The movie has everything. There's heartbreak, there's heartwarming moments, there's violence, there's good over evil, there's Narendra Modi appealing to the opposition. There's the opposition saying unruly, nonsense things about Kashmir is occupied by Pakistan and China. What about that? And there's loyalty. There's Amit Shah, the character of Amit Shah, screaming that that's not nationalism, that's not patriotism. What are you talking about? And there's everything. There's perfect dialogue. There's perfect acting. I think I've said that already, but I had to say it again. It's a movie that I think everyone should watch. Yes, there's violence, so I don't know about little kids, but if they are old enough to understand that this is violence that actually occurred, that actually did happen, and they see the backstory and they see how there's conspiracies going around that some people don't even have the power to overcome, and they see how hard people struggle to just get this thing removed. I think it's a part of history that should be watched. So kudos to the actors, kudos to the writers, kudos to the directors, the producers, everyone involved in this movie. Kudos to all of them. Thank you for giving us such a great movie. I hope more people watch it. And I hope you liked my review. If you did, please share it with anyone interested. Your subscription will be an encouragement. And ring the bell if you want to be notified when I do upload a new video. So until then, bye sunflowers. See you in the next video.